Hi everyone, I am Brittany, the Cosmic Lunar Soul. Welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you are a subscriber. So today I am going to be doing an unboxing and flip through of the Black Femme Tarot. This is a deck that I kickstarted a while ago, and I'm so happy that it's finally here. So this is created by Letitia Shelton and illustrated by Roberta Rodriguez. And let me go ahead and get the box open and we can talk a little bit more about it. So I backed this deck back in November of 2021, and it cost $45, not counting shipping, and was $56 after shipping. So it came with I got the early bird special, so that meant that the deck was a little bit cheaper, and it came with the deck, a little certificate of authentication card, and then it came with what was supposed to be a holographic sticker, but it came with this sticker here. It is not holographic at all, but it is quite lovely and matches my bottle, so I'm not complaining too much. The Black Femme Tarot is a full 78 card tarot deck featuring all Black and POC feminine individuals, and it does follow the classic Rider-Waite-Smith system. The unique feature about this deck is the broad spectrum of individuals represented in the cards. It explains in the Kickstarter that you can find different skin tones, hairstyles, clothing choices, as well as body types, which is what sold me, seen throughout the deck along with relationship diversity. So the deck displays relationships across the LGBTQIA spectrum, as well as different family dynamics. So I really like that. But let's go and talk about the box. So it is a matte box, which is really nice, at least for being as a YouTuber. It is good for being on camera. It's very vibrant and rich colors, so it still shows up great on camera. The back just tells you a little bit about the deck as a whole, and how the cards kind of are styled. So of course I like that the name is on, well, it's on two sides. It's on this side here and this, so you have some options of storing, but the box is so unique it would be kind of hard to confuse this with any other box. The deck does have a magnetic closure and is a flip top. So the inside continues on with the artwork, which is very thoughtful. And it says here, the epitome of being a Black femme is being able to glow unconsciously and giving a young Black femme permission to glow by seeing me. And this is by Mia Butler, quoted in 2022. But the deck, I'm gonna take the deck out, set that off to the side so we can see more of the box. The artwork goes into the box and it says the future is in your hands, and you can already see a lot of the representation. This lovely lady here should be familiar since I showed you on my bottle. And then you can just see on the sides that the artwork carries throughout. The box is nice and sturdy. So if you're the type of person to travel with your tarot decks, obviously be aware that the corners are quite sharp, so they will get messed up a little bit, but that is the nature of traveling with your deck. Just know that the cards would be very well protected. So we have here the cards. This is my certificate of authentication. This is deck 27 out of 1,000 copies. So that's really cool. I'm gonna just kind of keep it in here just to say I have it. And let's go on to the guidebook. So far, I really like how the designs are all different. So you see a different person being represented on the front of the box, the insides of the box, and then here on the guidebook. And the guidebook is very, very thin, but just watching the campaign and all of the updates, it is a full colored guidebook. And let's just kind of go through it. So it starts off with acknowledgments, information about the publishing and so forth of the deck. And then there is a little quote here by Dominique Pollard Adams in 2022. I won't go through and read all that, but I love when a guidebook has a table of contents, no matter how thin it is. So it starts off with the introduction, tarot frequently asked questions, and this is also very rare in guidebooks, numerology of tarot. So I really enjoy that. It goes on, of course, as normal, major arcana, minor arcana, split into wands, cups, swords, pentacles, and then the bonus cards. So this deck does have bonus cards, and we will get to that. So here is the introduction. Tarot frequently asked questions. This isn't really a frequently asked questions. This is more of a like quick start guide to how to read the guidebook, a little bit about the bonus cards, just a quick synopsis of what the suits are, what major versus minor are, and then the court cards. So I actually think that's really thoughtful because if you're new to tarot, it kind of just gives a really quick overview. But then I think it's really rare to include the court cards. And I actually have a worksheet because of it that I created. And I'll put the link in the description box, but it helps you understand how to read the court cards, what the court cards can mean in certain situations. Obviously, this is a very quick overview, but I think that is really understated in a lot of other guidebooks and usually not included. So this is really thoughtful. It gives a note on reversals from the author's perspective. So I really love that she explains why she includes reversals in her guidebook, but that if you do not read reversals, that is a-okay, because it's also very important for new readers to realize that it's okay if you don't use reversals. Here is my favorite section, numerology of tarot. I have like 2 books on numerology and tarot, so I really love that this is included in here. But it really touches on a lot of things that are covered in, you're not going to get in a lot of detail, but if you're curious about stuff like numerology and connections, interactions between cards, the Tarot of Interactions book is really good. I'll link some books in the description box for you guys. Here we get into the major arcana. It just kind of goes into what major arcana are, how they are thought of as the foundation of tarot, because it depicts big themes of life that are universal to us all, starting with the Fool and ending with the World, so forth. So here are the pages. They seem a little chaotic, which is why there was the tarot frequently asked questions in the beginning. But I think once you get a handle on what you're looking for, then it will make more sense. If you are a person who likes to do yes or no questions, I like that she shows upright as yes or reversed as no in this instance. It's a little simple. I should probably do a video on asking the right questions to your tarot because it's a little simple. There's a little more in-depth, in my opinion, on that. But I like that there's the main keywords here, and then there's sort of like a flowery advice section. So if you're the type of person who's like me and you don't really enjoy the flowery nature of some guidebooks and you just want clear cut, what are the keywords, you have that. But then if you're the opposite of me and you really enjoy like having that sort of novel explanation so you can kind of get a little more thought process behind it and examples, for instance, then there's that for you as well. And then I just really enjoy the little quotes and stuff like that with it. So here we have the Magician, and same thing, upright, reverse down here. And I actually really love this guidebook here. It's laid out very beautifully. Each page is devoted to one card for the major arcana. Once you get the hang of how it is structured, you can really go through this and find what you need very quickly. All right, here is the Minor Arcana. It just explains a little bit about the minors, that it's 56 cards and organized into 4 different suits, aka elements. And then I like that she explains that the Minor Arcana gives us the blueprint of our daily lives, what challenges or circumstances arise, who is involved, the underlying energy of it all. So I like how she compares the majors versus the minors in here, and it says, pay attention to the details of each card, its numerology, its placement in the progression of the suit, and its associated element. Check the tarot frequently asked questions for more. So this starts off with wands. This is broken up very similarly to the majors. The difference is that for each suit's cover page, I guess, that's not the right word, but you get what I mean, for main page, it gives an explanation of the element, the astrological representations, and then it just kind of gives you an overview of what wands are. So I'll just kind of give you an example with this one, and then, you know, just to keep this moving. So it says, like fire signs, the suit of wands are full of energy, warmth, and willfulness. They are courageous, spiritual, and deeply optimistic at their best. And then it goes on to say, fire can also burn and destroy, though, and imbalanced wands can give way to recklessness, domination, burnout, and unrealistic expectations. So that's really cool. All right, same thing here. We have the aces. So we have our upright meaning. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is broken up into aces up here and then twos down here. So this does not get a full page like the major arcana did, but it still gives you more or less the same information. So it gives you the upright keywords, reverse keywords, and then a little bit of a prompt here to help get the noodle working. And it does go through with, like, if you are doing yes, no's, is it a yes, no, or is it just neutral? And again, the yes, no thing is a little subjective here, so I'll talk about that later in another video. But it goes through all of those meetings, and I like that even though this is broken up into 2 per page versus just the full page, it's structured exactly the same, so it should be very easy to figure out what it is you're looking for once you get a handle on how everything is set up. So, and when I say get a handle on visually how it's set up, if you look at this page, right, the 7 and 8 are very, very close to each other. You can logically discern that this is 7 and this is 8. You just realize that this is the little border here, but at first glance it might not be so obvious, whereas here you see that 9 is all the way up here and 10 is all the way down here, and there is a visible dotted line that is happening, if you can see that. So here we have cups, and it goes through the same thing just like last time. All right, skipping ahead, we have the additional cards. There are 4 additional cards that were created to bring some Illuminati flavor to the deck and help you dive even deeper into your reading. They were conceptualized by yours truly and are made with very straightforward guidance to support you in trusting your intuition. So I'm not going to go into them in too depth. I'd rather you guys see them, but just know that they are structured in the guidebook the same way as the Minor Arcana. They're split into 2 per page. They have a yes-no correlation, and they have the keywords as well as the little flowery prompts that go along with them. So this is a great little guidebook. Since this is based off of Rider-Waite-Smith, you can utilize this for other decks if you enjoy this guidebook more, which is what I do often. If you saw my flip through of Game of Thrones, this is the Game of Thrones book. I like that it's hardback, so it travels well. You can see it's been well loved, and I have even added some tabs in here. So if you enjoy a guidebook, feel free to use it for other decks. It doesn't have to stay with that deck. And I think this might be replacing the sort of crappy pamphlet style guidebook I've been using from the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and I'll link that there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, you're all here for the cards, so let's go over to the cards. I'm gonna just get ready for the flip through, and then at the end we'll talk about the card stock and all of the stuff on the end. Just eager to get through these because I've waited so long for them. So let's get into the flip through. Are the specialty cards in the deck. We have Soul Tribe, Trust the Message, Spirit Guides, and Your Person. And let me go through and read off what these are. So Trust the message in the upright is about faith, intuition, and confirmation. And in reverse, being stubborn, avoiding the truth, and not listening. Soul tribe is destined relationships, fated connections, and alignment. In reverse, it's hidden enemies, gossip, and taking advantage. Here we have spirit guides. Upright, it is universal guidance, clarity, and trust. In reverse, it's wandering, disconnect, and clutter. And then we have your person, which is soulmate, romance, fulfillment. And in reverse is illusion, separation, and broken roads. It's kind of cool. I don't feel a connection to some of these yet. I do to these two, spirit guides and trust the message, but I'll have to see. That's the joy of having extra cards in a deck. It makes it a little more versatile and makes it more unique to the deck. So let's go on and talk about the design on the cards. The majors are all completely uniquely colored. So if we look at this, you can see the foray of colors here. They kind of match up to the theme of the card. Like the Tower is a really dark card. The Moon is dark, whereas the Sun is really bright. And then there's some things that are just neutral, like Justice, the Hermit. I thought the Hermit was so fun because it has the actual Hermit poster, and it's just, I really love that card. What's another card that was really nice? I really like the Hierophant. It reminds me of a lot of the Everyday Witch Tarot. It has a similar vibe to it. I'm not sure about the Emperor. Not really my thing. Same with the Empress, but it's not the end of the world either. I do enjoy the High Priestess. It's quite beautiful. Death is another dark card, but even though it doesn't necessarily have to be. And then we have the World and Judgment. Very much a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. So looking at the minors, you can see that each suit is colored one way. So that way it helps you identify the suits a little better. I think that's also just really a unique, it's not unheard of, but I do think it's a unique way of also identifying the suits. Just as a reader, you can kind of get a quicker idea of everything, even though the words are nice and big as well. So cups are blue. I guess to represent water. Swords are purple. And then the Pentacles is green. So that makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about the cards. So you can see here that the foiling or gilding on the sides, not really gilding because it's not gold, is sort of holographic. It's really cool. I'm very rough with my cards, so it won't look like this for very long, but that is on each side of the deck. You can see that here. The backs of the cards are just as colorful as the box. Reminds me a lot of the Magician, kind of. But the card stock is hyper matte. Really matte, but not in a bad way. It's similar to the box. I feel like as a YouTuber, it just makes it easier, you know, for the viewers to see, versus my Everyday Witch Tarot, where it's basically high gloss and catches every single light in my studio. So the cardstock reminds me a lot of the Philly Tarot, where it's nice and sturdy, but not too thick. It definitely is on the thicker side because you can see the thickness of this deck. So you can see the thickness comparison to my Game of Thrones, which is a thinner cardstock, versus this deck. This deck does have 4 more cards, but that is still a huge difference there. So let's do a shuffle test. We'll do the overhand shuffle, see how it does. New decks are always a little sticky, so it's just something you kind of gotta get over. So it overhands very well. You can see that it's already starting to chip. So that is just, if you are unfamiliar with foiling on decks, if you are not super careful with how you shuffle, that is just the nature of the beast, and it is what it is. So let me do a riffle and bridge, and we'll see how that goes. These are a little thicker, so they are a little harder to bridge. That could mean it just needs some breaking in, or it could just mean that, you know, these cards are going to be a little tougher, because I did show you that they are a little tougher, thicker. But they do riffle very well. So if you are not a bridger and you just want to stuff them in like that, they're nice and smooth. They're not a sticky mat at all. So if you want to do that, that would work just as well. Let's see if these are broken in enough. See if we can get a fan. Oh, they fan beautifully, guys. They fan great. So if you are a fanner, you can get a nice fan going. Perfect, easy overhand shuffle. And you can riffle and bridge without any difficulties. Just know that, you know, the foiling is going to get a little beat up. All right, guys, that was my flip through of the Black Femme Tarot. This was long overdue. So excited to finally have it. Comment below. Let me know what your favorite card was, what you really enjoyed about this deck, or anything else that you are curious about, like such as the guidebook or anything I didn't answer with the box. And just, yeah, let me know. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a like. Make sure you hit that subscription button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.